Hi guys, welcome to another episode of my YouTube video. Today's video is all about happiness. And I just wanted to talk about this because I hear this a lot. I just want to be happy. And what's that really mean? And how oftentimes when we just get into that place of I just want to be happy, we actually feel more anxious or more depressed. So the first thing I want to say is quit chasing happiness and be present and in the moment. And you know, we put so much pressure on this notion of happiness is out here and I just have to chase it. And once I get to it, everything will be fine. When I get into a relationship, or if I buy a house, or if I, get that A on the test, or when I submit my, when I publish my book, we chase this dream. And a lot of times what we do is we lose out on the things that are happening in the moment that actually really fuel aliveness and joy on the inside. So there's a few things that I've learned along the way, and one of them is happiness starts on the inside, and it's not something that we can find externally. And, when my kids and I, when we're doing something and we're laughing and we're enjoying each other, of course, we're experiencing joy and we're experiencing happiness in the moment. But when I feel good about myself, it helps increase those moments of joy. If I go externally, if I go to a friend, to seek out this feeling of happiness, I'm not going to feel quite as good. I'm not saying that my friends can't make me at times feel better, but that feeling of happiness or joy, it starts with me first. And this notion of if I do this thing out here, then everything will be okay. Well, let's talk about what we're going to miss out on. Actually, Emily Fletcher wrote a book called Stress Less, Accomplish More, and it's all about meditation. I've talked about it in a lot of my videos because I absolutely love this meditation practice. And she even has a chapter in there called I'll Be Happy When ... syndrome, and how most of us have gotten in this trap of just that, of I'll be happy when all these things happen. And when I read that book a couple years ago, that chapter really got me because it made me remember times that when my kids were really little, and I would get really stressed out because I wanted them, I wanted this thing to happen and this thing to happen and this thing to happen, and I was managing all these different boxes that we do in our life, right? And I kept chasing this thing. I would be happy if we got into the school we wanted to get into, or if I did this thing in my business, or if I did that. And, someone pointed out to me, like, hey, what about what's happening right now? And your kids are only little once. And it really was a good reminder to help myself slow down. And when I read that chapter, it was again another insight of, happiness starts within, and we got to quit chasing it. And when we're able to be more present in the moment, we're able to see things that we're not seeing if we're continuing to only look for the future. Missing out on the moments. If for example, if I come home from work and I'm trying to get dinner done and I'm telling the kids to do their homework and I'm trying to clean the dishes, instead of coming home and just taking 15 to 20 minutes and just sitting down and asking my kids about their day. In those 15 to 20 minutes, I'm connecting with them. I get it, guys. We have to eat dinner. We have to keep the house clean. We have to do homework. All those things that I know we have to do. However, it's so important to connect to your family too, right? Or connect to the things that are meaningful. And so instead of chasing all these things that we have to do, because once we do them, we're going to be able to relax. Well, is that really true? Or once we get them done, then we'll just be happy? So the point I'm trying to make is when we stop chasing happiness and start focusing on the present moment, and really focusing on the things that fulfill you from the inside out, we're going to feel better. And, I think I've said before, when we strive for perfection, for example, I've said, perfection equals depression. Nothing's ever perfect. And that's why when we continue to chase this notion of I'll be happy, or, once I get all these things done, things will feel better, we don't. We actually end up feeling worse. And Viktor Frankl, in his book Man's Search for Meaning, even talks about this. How some people survive the concentration camps is, instead of focusing on all these things out here, they found meaning in the here and now. Finding meaning in what's right in front of you instead of continuing to chase something that might not happen. And so I think when we're able to say, okay, instead of chasing happiness, instead of thinking that once all these goals that you've set for yourself are going to be accomplished, look at what's happening right in front of you. What's bringing meaning into your life right now? When are the small moments that you're laughing or experiencing joy or experiencing peace? What's meaningful about those moments? And, take a mental picture and hold on to those. When we're able to hold on to those meaningful moments, we're going to feel better. So times that we're maybe having a bad day, we can remember, what's a moment of peace that I've experienced in the last day or two? And recall it, and then just take a few deep breaths, and you've got that little moment of peace within you. When is a moment in the last few days that I've experienced joy? And it's right there. If we continue to chase this thing out here, we miss out on the things that help fulfill us and that are meaningful, that are right in front of us. So, quit chasing happiness and focus on the meaningful moments, the small moments in your life that bring you to life every day. They are there, I promise you. Again, I'm going to say it. Quit chasing happiness and focus on the present. Focus on things that are right in front of you that do bring a smile to your face, or that do make you feel like those moments of peace. I'm not saying you can't have goals. I think goals are good. You can have those goals. So it's, oftentimes I say, okay, we can set some long-term goals, but let's focus on the short term. Because in my experience, what we do is we might have these long-term goals out there, but a lot of times we might be going in one direction and we actually go in a different direction. And while there might be some disappointment in the transition to the different direction, it's actually where we're supposed to be, what we're meant for. So, again, it's quit looking for happiness outside of yourself. Find it on the inside. You are of value, you're worthy, and you are enough. And when we're able to focus on the small, meaningful moments, we can see that more clearly. And we can also, we feel a little bit better, and we're able to be more present within our own lives and our own relationships. All right, guys. I hope you have a beautiful day. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for weekly updates all about relationships and mental health. Take care.